Okay, welcome in, Cosmic. What we have here is your human design chart. Ultimately, what human design is your user manual of life, and this user manual of life for you ends up giving you your yes and no for you based on who you were when you were born, before you were conditioned by society, by schools, by laws. This is you. And don't worry about notes, because this will be highlighted and it will be put on the YouTubes and you can watch it as many times as you want. So I just advise you to sit here and pay attention. If you want to make notes, you can make them another time. So you can be present right now, ask questions if need be, and you can watch it later. So once again, what is human design? It allows you to say your yes and no. When you understand how to say your yes and no, and you follow that, then you are ultimately allowing your purpose to flow through you. Your purpose is the incarnation cross. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to you or if I'm talking to anybody else in chat. If you look at incarnation cross on that screen there over here, you will see incarnation cross. That is your purpose in life. Once again, how do you allow your purpose to flow through you? It's by understanding how you say your yes and no, following that yes and no. That's it. And you're like, yeah, that's it. That's fucking scary, guys. Following what your body tells you to instead of what society expects from you. Sheesh. So, okay. This is going to be an experience of how you say your yes and no. And after that, depending on where this conversation goes, we'll see what we are talking about afterwards. So, CosmicBlueSiren, how do you say your yes and no? Well, in the human design system, you are called a generator. As a generator, I know this is a lot of stuff to take in right now. It's not meant to be ingested. It's just jargon. You are a generator, and because you're a generator, you're here to respond. Your sacral is your inner authority. A lot, I'm going to explain it, don't you worry. So, you are a generator, and what we see in the chart here is what makes you a generator, and actually what gives us your means of being able to say your yes and no. Now, if we're going to go into this a little bit deep, because sure, we want to. What do you see in front of you? This is a list of characteristics that does describe you, and it was captured the moment you were born. The numbers are black because you are aware of this aspect of yourself. Your brain is quite aware of this. Now, the other side, the red side, the design side, this is actually captured 88 days before you're born, and this is what your body's kind of doing. So this is like your brain and this is your body, and they kind of come together. But these are also a list of characteristics of you. Once again, captured 88 degrees before you're born. All right, let's go more jargon because it's fun. Do you see this color 22 here, how it's red? You see the 22 here, that's how it got there. Do you see this color black here, 36? 36 is how this got over here. So that's how all of these numbers got into the chart and how all of these colors got lined up how they are. Now, these half lines are called gates. These are all called gates, and these are called gates. But when you happen to have two gates on each side of it that match up together, like right here, it's a full channel. That's a full channel. These channels are what you put out into the world. And it's actually these channels that makes the centers on the other side of it defined. So you don't need to ingest any of this. It's just jargon. I'm just telling you how things come to be the way they are, because you might be curious of that. Okay, let's stop with the jargon. What are these geometrical shapes? They are called centers, not chakras. And there are colored in centers, or there are centers that are white. Both of this makes up all of you. It just means that the colored in stuff is defined, which means it's consistent. And the white stuff in your chart is just undefined and open, and all that means is it's inconsistent. So we would be making decisions based off the consistency in our energy instead of based on what's inconsistent in our life. So the colored in stuff is what you put out into the world consistently, and the white stuff is what you put out into the world inconsistently. It's all you. Just because there's white, it doesn't mean you're broken. It just is. Now we get to know all the little nuances about Cosmic Blue Siren. All right, because you're a generator, what makes you a generator is that this sacral is defined. Your sacral is everything to you. Your sacral is like this vortex, like a hurricane, like your aura is pulling in people, places, things, and experiences towards you in life. People, places, things, and experiences are being pulled towards you in life. And it's then from there that you make decisions. So you're like, what you're saying, Katie, is that I don't need to go out and search for things? Cosmic, you are allowed to want things. You are allowed to go out and do things. You are allowed to, think life is pretty. But what I'm saying is that life is going to come at you during those things that you are naturally doing. And it is from there that you are going to make those choices, is what I'm saying. You're not going to disengage with life or, sit there with your poop or your finger up your pooper. You have a lot of things that you want to do in life. There's a lot of things that are frilly and that interest you. It's like, what is it that I choose that I should be doing out of all that, right? How do I say my yes and no? What is correct for me? So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. How do I know what's correct for me? How do I say my yes and no? What is correct for me will ultimately allow my purpose to flow through me, reminding you that your purpose is your incarnation cross. Okay. How do you say your yes and no? Your sacral. I'm bringing it up again. This juicy life force vortex energy. You are gifted, Cosmic, with these guttural sounds. And I can actually see them in chat right now. Is a guttural sound of yours. Is a guttural sound of yours. Is a guttural sound of yours. All of those caveman-like sounds like I don't know. Those are all indications of what is correct for you or not. So I'm glad that you already see inside of you your true energy working. So when something sounds correct for you, maybe you're like, and you sit up more. Or maybe something's just not correct for you at all and you're like, ugh. And you don't know why you're repulsed from something, but you just step away from it for no reason at all. But your body has the intuitive awareness of what is healthy for you or not, and what is correct and safe for you or not, and what is proper for your direction. If you listen to those ahas or uh-ahs. Now, my teacher, when she didn't like the sound of something, she couldn't really resonate with like the yes aspect of it. She really resonated with the no aspect of it, because when she didn't want to do something, she was like, and her body kind of fell in on itself, and she heard that sigh, and so she really knew when it was a no, for sure. So let's talk about that. You have people, places, life, and experiences coming towards you in life, and it's for you to determine in that moment if it's correct for you or not. You must respond to me. Ooh, Katie's on. You must respond to Katrine. Oh, she's so relaxing. So those guttural sounds that cavemen or babies put out, like ugh, or ooh, ah, eh. You know what all of those sounds mean to you. But with you, particularly your energy, you have the capability of, having that safety added to that. And I don't know, maybe you're vocal in bed too. Who knows? When things are good and things aren't, since you mentioned other people in chat. So let's talk about that again. If you understand how to say your yes and no, then if you follow that yes and no, then you're going to allow your purpose to flow through you. All right, so it's not about Cosmic asking Cosmic themselves, do I want to do this? No, it's not you asking yourself a question to yourself. You could get a confidant to ask you the same question externally to see how you respond. But it truly is about external cues. Or your internal cues, but let's talk about that. Hey, Cosmic, do you want to go to the store? And your body's already up and going before your brain even says yes. Or you're asked to do something, you're like, ugh, before you even realize the answer that came to your head. So, understanding your yes and no, it can come from an internal thing as well. Your eyes pop open in the morning. Why? Are you finished being rested? Did your fur babies inside your house wake you up? Did your pooper tingle a little and you gotta go poop? So, you respond to, yeah, I do gotta go to the bathroom. So you lift the blankets off of you, sit up in bed, and you're like, ooh, that's a response. You responded to, it's chilly in the room, so you respond to putting on your house coat. So you're like, well, I am going to be in the pooper for a bit, so I respond to taking my phone to entertain myself as I go there. You open up your phone. Ugh, all the messages that you might see, or all the emails you might see, so I see this game that I want to play, so I respond to opening that. Moment by moment by moment, is really what life is. We are responding moment by moment by moment. So it's not only the external cues, it's also the internal ones. You're cold. You're hungry. I need to poop, right? You respond to life. So let's just say, Cosmic, you were going to the laundry room inside your place. And along going to the laundry room, you stopped and grabbed a handful of peanuts along the way and grabbed a drink, and then you continued along the way. And you're like, the fuck did I just grab peanuts and water for? Because I wasn't hungry or thirsty. But, you know, when your body is automatically moving a direction before your brain even accommodates what's going on, see why your body was going in that direction. What is it that you needed without your brain getting involved? And yeah, go ahead and continue doing whatever it is that you responded to doing before that, but there's a reason why your body detoured. Another example of like these instantaneous moments is like whenever I touch my lips, I'm checking to see how dry my lips are. So it's obviously a key indicator of, oh, you need to be hydrated. So instead of touching lips, how about you hydrate yourself, right? So every moment of life is a chance to respond. Or or I don't know. And if the answer is I don't know, then you just don't know right now. Maybe in 5 minutes it could be correct. Or maybe you were just too busy at the moment for your energy to be available to what it is. So maybe in 5 minutes you can be asked again. Or maybe the answer was I don't know because your energy just didn't understand. So can you please ask me a different way? I get people to ask me that. I get people to say that. You know, can you please ask me that in a different way so I can understand it better? But yeah, let's talk about this again. Let's just say your body said, and you went forward with it. Then you are allowing your purpose to flow through you. Let's just say your body said, fuck that noise. And you don't do it. Then you are still allowing your purpose to flow through you. Let's just say your body said, oh, well, that's a no for now. And you're still allowing your purpose to flow through you. So let's just say you did the opposite. Let's just say your body said, and your brain got all involved and you got scared and you didn't do it. Well, what happens is actually the opposite of having your purpose flow through you. So this is your purpose, but when the opposite happens, frustration pops up. So you said in chat, I really am sometimes out of the context, and it's like something pulled me out and put me back in, and I have no idea what the other person said. So when you are doing you properly, you're allowing your purpose to flow through you, but when you do the opposite, you'll end up in frustration. So I'm going to ask you, Cosmic, where are you frustrated in life? So there's a few different things that probably popped up in your mind. Now, just because you're frustrated at something, it doesn't mean you need to quit something or start something new. Maybe just something needs to change. And I always use my old boss as an example. He got fired and I was no longer frustrated at my job anymore. He had to change, not me. That was what was wrong. So just because you entered into a contract correctly, frustration will be a key indicator to keep you on track of what's correct for you. Maybe something needs to change, or maybe the contract perhaps needs to end for all, who knows? So you are saying, allowing your purpose to flow through you. But if your body is saying, and you don't do it, then you'll be met with frustration. Wasn't able to go against your biological dad and be a musician from childhood. Oh no. Yeah, so you see where there's frustration in your life. What needs to change about that? Can you still change something about that? Yeah, you've always wanted to be that musician, but why not start now? So, is that something that you respond to? Uh huh or Okay. So, there's actually something interesting about this as well is that when you understand how to say your and your your profile begins to emerge. Now, what is your profile? Your profile is your behavioral costume in life. So this is how you see yourself. This is how people see you. So let's just say that you are acting not self. Let's just say that you're living life based on what other people expect you to do. This is what it would feel like. You are on the stage of life, the play of life. And let's just say that you are a person who's 7 foot tall, but the props person gave you a costume for someone who was 5 foot tall. Even if you try to fit into it, it's going to be super uncomfortable. It's going to burst open. It's going to rip. So this is what it's like, is like when you try to fit into what other people expect you to be, life might feel uncomfortable. It might rip a little. It might burst at the seams here and there. So when I became a little bit more comfortable with who I was human design wise, oh, did this ever start to shine? I started to feel so comfortable in my body. Guys, I wore a crop top in front of you guys, and I never did that before in my life. So I just felt so uncomfortable in my body before. So that was just my personal perspective of feeling uncomfortable in my own body or environment or place, you know? That's what it feels like to be a not self in your own behavioral costume. There's a lot of woes around this in life, and I assume that that's where some people get their "I don't feel like I'm from this planet" comes from. I resonate with that. So, what is a profile? Profile, once again, is your behavioral costume in life, how you see yourself and how others see you. You are a 4-6. What's fun is that I am a 4-6 as well. Maybe this is how you were attracted to me, was that your profile was attracted to my profile. I am a 4-6. Now let me explain what a 4-6 is separately. A 4 is a person who's a networker. Your network means a lot to you. Your brotherhood, your sisterhood. Now, the thing is that you give people chances, but when people fuck you over, they're never allowed back in your network because they've been allowed so many chances that they ruined it for themselves. So you do have many, but you do have a tight-knit few. There's always going to be people coming in your life and coming out of your life, and sometimes people might feel offended towards that, but it's just who you are. You are here for the opportunity, and once there's no more opportunity left, on to the next. And it may sound bad, but you're not going to get another boyfriend until you have, or you're not going to break up with this boyfriend until you have another boyfriend. You're not going to let go of this job until you have another job, kind of idea. I'm not saying that that's exactly you, but it's like you're going to hold on to one opportunity until the next one comes by. You as a 4 have something to say. And for me, my thing to say is human design. And I could verbal diarrhea all over people if they let me, but I've known to like retract what I need to say. So like you have something to say to your network. Indeed, I don't take risks before making sure that I'm safe with something else. Yeah, and that's where that comes from. And you do understand how to take risks safely for you specifically that will keep you safe and healthy, because it's right at that place that I'm pointing at. So fourness is all about the network, having that very solid few and many otherwise. So the sixness here is about, I bet people saw you as a wise person from a very young age. Oh, you're so smart. You're so grown up. Because this is the role model. And even though you were a kid, everybody saw the role model within you. Years ahead of your time. So when you were younger, people might have been frustrated with you, or you might have been frustrated with people because you didn't understand why they couldn't just see the frickin' answer in front of you, right there. Like, why can't you just understand it? It's right here in front of you. So, sixes are appeared as aloof, always looking at the next thing, because you are the role model. So the role model has like a 3-part life, and you're in your second part right now. Up until about 28, 29, you're going to be bumping into life. You might be messy. You might break things. You're going to trial and error things. You're going to get things dirty. Some people might call you clumsy. I would have to calculate that. 28, 29, 30. So you're here to bump into things and see the hole in things. And you're going to report it back to your network where you have found the holes. You just might randomly fall into holes yourself, like me. I need to calculate the second part of your life because it's different for everybody. Mine happened when I was like 28 or something, or 29. So, you are in your second part of your life right now where you're kind of standing back from all of the wounds that you've had from the first part of your life, kind of licking the wounds and being in this protective little cocoon right now. And it is when you're about 50 years old-ish that's when the world will see you as a role model. And you're like, fuck. 50 years old is when people will finally start seeing me as that beautiful role model that I've always been as a kid. Yeah, trust me, girl. It's a bitch. Because, like, I am a role model of human design, and yeah, girl, I gotta wait too. So, I understand the feels. I do. It's like you want it right now. I understand. You want that full respect of your tribe and community right now. It takes time though. So, you are going to be making a lot of mistakes with your network. Your network is what you need in order to report back all the findings of what it is that you are the role model of. How can you be a role model if there's no network to be the role model to? So let's go back to the purpose of this experience. Why are we here? To understand how to say your yes and no. Cosmic, you are a person who is designed to say and when it is correct for you or not, because your body understands what is safe for you and what is healthy for you, and it's going to bring you in the proper direction in which you need to go. Do it. You'll allow your purpose to flow through you. Don't do it. Your purpose will still flow through you. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to rest. I'm not going to continue with the reading. That is all we're going to do for today, understanding how to say your yes and no. So, do you have questions regarding your yes and no? How do you say your yes and no? It's not Cosmic saying, hey, Cosmic, do I want to do a teaching degree? No, it's like you obviously like, oh, that's so beautiful. I could see myself doing that. And you responded to all the courses that you were taking, and you're like, oh, I'm going to just be such a hard worker, and I really want to do it. And yes, for those of you watching, this was a $50 reading experience. Cosmic Blue Siren has donated a poop ton of monetary hype over time, so that's why they received this experience. So yes, you are here to say your or and it will guide you through your life. And when you are needing to be set back on track, your frustration will be a key indicator of where you need to up level in your life. Your frustration is telling you what do you need to look at. And from there, in that moment, during that experience, what is it that your body says? There's no need for pre-planning, getting everything ready. What happens in that moment? What does your body say? Oh. And those are good enough answers. Having somebody as a confidant to ask you questions. Hey, Cosmic, is this correct for you? Hey, Cosmic, do you like pizza? Hey, Cosmic, do you like tuna? Hey, Cosmic, do you like anchovies? Hey, Cosmic, do you like burnt pizza? Like, it's just like such basic questions that your body can feel into, because a lot of us were deconditioned away from that in life. Like, my mom said, don't say yeah, don't say nah. So, yes, or say yes, say no, because it is correct in society. You can't even say or Make sure you say your yes and no. So you're deconditioned away from your or yes or your So play around with it. See what your body says. See if less frustration pops up in your life, more satisfaction if you decide to follow that or Thank you for that opportunity, Cosmic, and thank you for being a consistent monetary supporter. I really appreciate you. And for everybody wondering, how do you get the rest of your stuff in your chart read? That is a $250 experience. And once again, that is also recorded. This is recorded. It is put up on the YouTubes for you to have for a very long time. Forever, as long as YouTube exists.